This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Good day, I'm Elena Rusk. The case continues against Jacqueline and Trezell West, the adoptive parents charged with murder in the disappearance of Orrin and Orson West. But today, the court took action to ensure complete silence before the case goes to trial. 17's Christian Galano joins us in studio with the latest from court this morning. Christian.
Yeah, Elena, well, everyone from defense attorneys to prosecutors asked for a gag order to be granted. It was just yesterday that defense attorneys spoke out for the first and last time before the gag order went into effect. Now, the order bars attorneys and their investigators and law enforcement involved in the case of Trezell and Jacqueline West from speaking publicly about it. It also applies to witnesses and court personnel with access to reports filed in the case. Additionally, Judge Chad A. Louie ordered all search warrants and grand jury transcripts to be sealed. Prosecutor Eric Smith had requested the gag order, and defense lawyers Timothy Hennessy and Alexis Torres Stallings joined in that motion. Now, the biological family of Orrin and Orson West were also present in the courtroom, and they agree with the gag order as they believe a fair trial is needed in order for justice to prevail.
We just have to have faith like we had this 14 months, and look where we're at today. They're sitting in this jail, so that's what happens when you leave it in God's hands and let Him do the work.
Now, the Wests have pleaded not guilty to several charges, including 2 counts of second-degree murder. They were arrested March 1st after being indicted by grand jury. Prosecutors say Orrin and Orson were killed 3 months before they were reported missing, and no bodies have been found by law enforcement, and the trial is currently scheduled for May, but will likely be postponed. We'll have more tonight at 5. Meantime, reporting in studio, Christian Galeno, 17 News.
All right, thank you, Christian. Now to a developing story. We have been following the discovery of a body inside a city well in southwest Bakersfield. We want to take you live to the scene right now, where crews are still working to remove that body nearly 24 hours after the discovery was made. According to the Bakersfield Fire Department, the body was found yesterday afternoon in a well on New Stein Road near Demery Avenue. Now, we're hearing the opening to that well is only 18 inches wide. The fire department says the body was found by a third-party well servicing company. California Water Services, which operates and maintains the well for the city, said that well has been offline since November 15th last year. There is no indication water quality has been affected. Bakersfield police are taking over the investigation, and we will follow this story for you with any updates available on our website, kget.com. Well, new at noon this morning, the White House announced a ban on Russian oil imports as our gas prices reach all-time highs. The Defense Department says nearly 100% of Russian troops amassed on the border are now inside Ukraine, and people there continue to flee the country in any way they can. NBC's Bree Jackson reports the latest from Washington.
Deadly attacks in Ukraine escalating.
The Russian occupiers are killing Ukrainian children, consciously and cynically.
The Pentagon says morale and supply problems within the Russian military have caused frustration, resulting in civilian casualties.
When you're relying more on long-range fires, you're gonna cause more damage. And you're going to kill more people and injure more people.
Ukraine's president remaining defiant, speaking from his office overnight, encouraging patriotism, saying he is not hiding. He is also pushing for an official ban on Russian oil.
Russia uses it as a weapon.
Good morning, folks. Sorry to keep you waiting.
President Biden unveiling new actions to hold Russia accountable.
The United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports.
There's fear a ban could send gas prices surging even higher, the national average rising 50 cents over last week's prices. We're now seeing the highest price at the pump since 2008.
Defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well in the United States.
Experts warn rising gas prices could lead to more expensive flights. Meanwhile, there are signs of bravery and courage as Ukrainians try to escape war. It's estimated nearly 2 million residents have fled Ukraine for safety, many of them children. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
All right, so as we watch the price at the pump rise here at home due to this crisis, today marks the highest gas prices we have ever seen in our nation. Our 17 News crew has been tracking prices, and there was another 10-cent jump in prices today from what we saw yesterday. Now, according to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas is currently $4.17, the highest we've ever seen, because yesterday we reported the all-time high for average gasoline was $4.10 per gallon. That was set back on July 17th, 2008. We also reported yesterday California has the most expensive gas prices of any state. Our state average currently $5.44. So what does that mean in Kern County? Well, we're at $5.30. To find the cheapest gas prices at a station near you and to get some tips on how to maximize gas efficiency during price spikes, just head over to our website, kget.com. We have a hot link button there for you. All right, state lawmakers moving forward with a push to stop the flow of money between California and Russia. The California legislature will soon consider a bill they say could be another big blow to Russia's economy. It requires the state's public retirement systems to pull investments out of Russian and Belarusian assets and companies, which were originally estimated up to $2 billion. The bill also aims to block any state contracts from being awarded to any company doing business with Russia. And the legislation will ask private companies based here in California to pull investments from the Russian economy. The bill already has bipartisan support from dozens of lawmakers who are working on nailing down a date for the bill's first hearing. All right, Governor Gavin Newsom will deliver his annual State of the State address tonight. He is expected to address the easing of COVID-19 restrictions, along with the state's new sanction attempts against Russia. And he will also talk about his new framework to care for Californians dealing with mental illness and homelessness. We will be streaming the governor's address tonight at 5 on our website, kget.com. Now to some local education news. Dozens of students and parents packed last night's Kern High School District Board meeting, united under a rallying cry, justice for Jackson.
We're all here tonight because we're tired of seeing this over and over and over.
All right, you heard them there. Key Jackson's former students and mentees said she left a mark on them, one that didn't end when Jackson was terminated at Ridgeview High School last month. Jackson was allegedly terminated for, quote, poor work performance, but students say her classroom was a safe space for all of them.
Ms. Jackson has taught me to be black, and what I mean by that, comfortable in my own skin. I've never been so proud to be who I am. I've never been so excited to go to a historically black college and university. She's continued to make us be proud of who we are and to never be afraid of who you are in your own skin.
There's been cops who even...
All right, speakers called for Jackson's reinstatement at Ridgeview and an investigation into Ridgeview principal Roger Sanchez. Some threatened school walkouts if the issue was not addressed. Ridgeview officials could not be reached overnight for comment, but the Kern High School District declined to comment, saying the issue is a personnel matter. All right, now to the latest COVID-19 numbers here in Kern County. This morning, Kern County Public Health announced that we have 9 new deaths and 162 new positive cases. So following a COVID-19 infection, we're learning that some patients are experiencing hair loss. That's not the only impact this pandemic has on your hair and skin, however. Dermatologists say they've seen a jump in cases of hair loss brought on by stress to the body, and it can develop about 50 to 60 days after a COVID infection. Now, the good news is that most of the problems seem to be temporary, as doctors say it can take about 18 months for the hair to grow back.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.